So it's been a couple days now since former President Donald Trump got hit-markered on live television, and it's good to see that Lil Donnie is going to be okay. And it's definitely safe to say that the attacker in question will not be joining FaZe anytime soon. But amidst all the buzz and commotion that was stirring over on the Funny Bird app, it would appear that many people, including the popular political commentator and streamer Destiny, don't really seem to share a similar sentiment with myself and the rest of the normal people of the world. So he took to Twitter to disrespectfully and distastefully rejoice in the tragic passing of a firefighter, and to let the world know of his disappointment overall regarding the result of that attack on Trump. Yeah, pretty disgusting stuff, and so I figured we could talk about all that today, so go ahead and grab a snack, your favorite bev, and definitely get your wallet ready, because I'm sure all of us will be eagerly lining up to donate to the next thought-provoking stream of his. I'm sure it'll be oh so educational as well. Let's go ahead and roll it. So the worst anime you've ever seen in your entire fucking life starts with the antagonist coming in here by saying, "This is the fucking retard that got killed at the Trump rally. Fucking LaMayo." And this Corey Comparator, I'm probably butchering that, but that's the firefighter that I was referring to. So pretty bad tweet. I shouldn't exactly have to hop up here on my YouTube soapbox and preach that, but yeah, pretty terrible tweet, pretty distasteful for sure. But like Billy Mays once said, but wait, there's more, because it gets even worse.
Fuck it, fuck the dude, the firefighter guy, fuck Trump, fuck the people that support him. I just want you to know, okay, just in case you're confused or it seems like I'm, whatever. If one of you were in the crowd and you're a conservative fan of mine and you end up, getting blown away or whatever the fuck, I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter. I am, 100%.
So this spineless little cuck, yeah, don't think for a second that any of us have forgotten about you and your ex-wife and all the fun stuff that happened behind the scenes. I won't get into that because that's not really why I'm here. But I will say he's a pretty terrible person, and he's kind of a loser, not even going into all of that. He's a loser here in this instance for doubling down on these distasteful things that he said. And you know what? I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you can't have an opinion, right? And you can't have a political view that is contrary to Donald Trump and his rally and all that. You totally can, but there's good ways and bad ways of going about it. And I think the really sad thing here is that, if we take a step back from politics for a second, realize that the person he's flaming and making fun of and making a little joke on Twitter was a real human being, right? Go ahead and read this article here. It says, Corey was a girl dad. Corey was a firefighter. Corey went to church every Sunday. Corey loved his community. Most especially, Corey loved his family. In an interview with the New York Post on Monday, Helen Comparator, the widow of Corey Comparator, shared her husband's last words spoken as he shielded his family from bullets that ultimately took his life. "He's my hero," she said. He just said, "Get down." That was the last thing he said. Comparator also is survived by daughters Allison and Kaylee, his mother, 2 sisters, and a stepbrother, according to an obituary posted by Redmond Funeral Home in Freeport, Pennsylvania. So this dude had a fucking family, you feel me? He had 2 girls that are now fatherless. He's now left his wife widowed. He's got various other family members that are never going to see this man again, right? Like, that is a loss of a life. And the loss of a pretty valuable life, I will say. Obviously it's saying he's beloved by the community. He loved his family. But this man was a firefighter. Like, he literally served other people and saved people from dangerous fires for a profession, right? And then this Destiny dude wants to hop up on here and say, oh, rip bozo, smoking that Comparator pack today, because he had a differing political opinion. Like, dude, get the fuck out of here. What a loser. I just think it's so sad that in the world we live in today, or at least in American politics anyway, we can't just agree to disagree, We actually live in a world where we're so divided as a country, and we're so divided in political ideology to the point where if you don't agree with me, or I don't agree with a certain someone, we automatically just default to wishing death upon people, and even in this guy's case, celebrate it. Like, It is totally within the realm of reason and possibility to respect other people's differences of opinion, but instead, the world we live in today, we celebrate people passing away, losing their lives in such a tragic event, man. This is 100% preventable, but the fact of the matter is we are so divided that something like this happened in the first place. It's so sad to see, man. And I get it, we all have shitty takes from time to time. I'm sure my YouTube channel is loaded with them. But at some point, there reaches a point where you gotta say, I was wrong, I apologize. That was a pretty terrible take, very insensitive. And I shouldn't have said that and be on your merry way, right? But this dude didn't even double down. He like triple, quadruple, I don't even know what kind of oople comes after him, but he did it. He says here, in addition to everything we've talked about so far, he goes out and says, if I've offended anyone with my recent tweets, I'd like to make things right. DM me and I'll buy you front row seats to the next Trump rally. So not only is he happy that this firefighter died, but he's even wanting to pay for front row seats to the next one, sitting back on his stream just praying to the gods that another tragedy like this takes place so that more innocent people can lose their lives. God, I really shouldn't have to be even making this video and calling this scumbag out, but here we are. And then moving on here, a person in the crowd cheering for and supporting a traitor to this country caught astray. I'm so sad, please. And then here's a pretty awful tweet. I don't even know if YouTube would allow me to show this, but honestly, I'm such a small channel and I'm so worked up over this that I don't even care. So this is a picture of what apparently the stands looked like. This person says, you disgusting bitch, I can't believe your shit right now, talking about Destiny. And he says, all I see is Biden up, +1 in Pennsylvania. Again, smoking that comparator pack, the Biden boys, where this is huge strides for winning the presidency here. That's all he cares about is politics and policy, and he doesn't care about the loss of a human life. And it's just like, at some point, it's like, why do you even give a shit? Like, regardless of who you align with, whether it be Biden, whether it be Trump, these people don't know who you are. So it's like, why are we sucking so much dick, right? Like, at some point, you gotta at least zip it up after you're finished, show some common courtesy here. And I don't know, man, this whole thing just really made me lose a lot of respect for him, because it's like, from what I understand, he's always been pretty civil, he's always been pretty mature in his debate and whatnot. And there was that whole instance real recently that I covered with the whole Boogie faking cancer thing, where he came out and he wanted to know the truth, and he was condemning him for lying to his fans. And, obviously that's something I can get behind, but he was on his high horse talking about how, oh, you're a terrible person, and you come out and prove it then, and I'll pay for your medical bills, just trying to make Boogie look goofy. Like, I'm not saying Boogie's innocent, he's definitely a moron in his own right too, but the fact that you're trying to come out here and make other people look terrible and paint them out to be some sort of villain, when truth be told, you have your own skeletons in your closet. And it's just real ironic looking back how one of Destiny's talking points is just that Boogie's, terminally online and he's a chronic victim, always playing the victim card and all that. And then he comes out here and is playing the victim card himself to defend his ass as if he even deserves any defending. So as you can see here, this Rubin Report guy, he came out with an insensitive tweet of his own, and Destiny came out of the woodwork to tweet out, actually wait, at Elon Musk, is this the type of advertiser-friendly content you want on this platform? It's important to remove this type of hateful rhetoric, or at least demonetize it, right? Based on your tweets and the action X took yesterday, I would hope to see @Rubin Report removed from the advertising platform ASAP. And so that former action he's referring to is the tweeting from Destiny about the firefighter did result in him being demonetized temporarily. And I think it's so funny how he comes out here on his high horse, pretending to be like all anti-hateful rhetoric and all this, when in reality, he doesn't actually care. He's just butthurt that he got demonetized. And so he wants to see this guy get the same treatment that he did. Am I saying that this Rubin Report guy is innocent? Absolutely not. That's a pretty insensitive tweet to put out. It's purely degenerate. It should have never been typed out and posted to the platform. But I just feel like the spokesman here, Destiny, is not a really good candidate. And I think he should honestly just sit this one out. Because like I said, he does not care about any hateful rhetoric. He doesn't care about any of the individuals that this could inadvertently affect. Nah, he doesn't care about any of that. And you'd think he'd smarten up by now, right? You know, you'd think he'd get tired of making himself look like a moron on everybody's timeline, but he just doesn't know when to quit. Like, dude honestly needs to learn when to take an L and just be done with it. I'm so glad he has continued on this little tirade though, because it's obviously free YouTube content that you and I can now sit back and point and laugh at, but like, if you thought this was the end of it, you'd be wrong. If you thought he looked goofy now, wait till you hear what he said on the Piers Morgan show in front of a much larger audience. I'll go ahead and roll that as well.
Your position seems to be that anyone from Donald Trump to his supporters who represents their thinking, their ideology, their political views, that if they are killed by an assassin at a rally, then they deserve what's coming to them, and in your words, fuck them. I mean, do you not understand that to most decent Americans and to decent people around the world, that is incredibly offensive and makes you look like a two-faced hypocrite, somebody who wants the other side to behave to a certain level of decency, but is himself incapable of displaying it.
So Piers comes out and starts the conversation and pretty much echoes what I said in the intro, how what Mr. Destiny here said is not very epic, cool, or based, and how a lot of normal people, you know, looking at this tweet might think it's pretty insensitive and overall just not very cool. And as you can see, Destiny doesn't really seem to even look like he wants to be there, you know, looking off to the side constantly, not really paying any attention. And that's just terrible debate practice, right? Not only is he not dialed, as one would say, but he's also very quick to interrupt Piers before he can even finish his thought. And I don't know, that's just a terrible look. But like I said, it gets worse.
The conservatives don't have it in them to have that level of decency.
So why don't you rise to a higher bar? Why don't you yourself show them the promised land, Destiny? Show them the way they should be behaving.
Have been doing it for 8 years. There's nothing to be gained there. So instead, we'll just have a laugh instead.
Exactly, man. Like, what the fuck? Like, what am I hearing, man? If conservatives are so bad, right? If they're just such terrible people, why don't you, rise above that hatred? Why don't you rise above that degeneracy and try to be the example, right? But instead, he doubles back and says, oh, well, I guess 2 wrongs make a right in this scenario, which 2 wrongs never make a right. So that argument is just terrible. And then, of course, he goes with all reliable too, claiming that the whole time, guys, the whole time we were reading those tweets, what we didn't understand, what we didn't comprehend, what we didn't consider was that it was all just jokes, guys. It was all just a little joke, a little tee-hee, me preying on someone's downfall and celebrating their death. Oh, no, that wasn't real, guys. That was just a prank. It was just a joke.
Are you pleased that Donald Trump got shot?
Am I pleased? No, absolutely not.
What is your emotion to the shooting?
My emotion is emotionally, what, in terms of his personal health, is absolute indifference.
No, do you condemn the shooter shooting Donald Trump?
No, not here, not on this program, not in front of these people. Absolutely
you do not?
Shut the fuck up. God damn.
Bro, I'm not even going to comment on this. I'm not even going to entertain this. Some people just can't be saved, man. There's just no saving people. But I do want to finish up the video here with a tweet that I had towards him, because we always do a little bit of trolling when necessary. He says, never apologizing for the way I treat conserva shits in this country, with a bunch of 100 emojis. To which I had to respond with, would have made more sense to say it's not even hate speech. Instead, you quadrupled down. Gotta respect how much you do for the disabled community. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I would love to hear what y'all have to say about all this. So leave a comment down below and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel for more amazing content like this as well. I'd love to have you around. But until next time, guys, this is Runter. Well, celebrating people's downfalls and then going nuts about it on Twitter. And we'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm done yapping for now. Later.